Herzlich willkommen zum Wintersemester 22/23 aus dem Studio Raumproduktion. Ich freue mich, dieses Semester zusammen mit Silvia Gioberti anzufangen als neue Kollegin. Herzlich willkommen, Silvia.
Vielen Dank. Ich freue mich auch. Wie gesagt, das ist mein erstes Semester an der Fakultät der Architektur. Mein Name ist Silvia und ich habe auch vor einigen Jahren ein Diplom an der UDK gemacht und dabei mein Architekturkollektiv Guerilla Architects mitgegründet, mit dem ich seitdem arbeite. Und ich interessiere mich für ein bisschen das Hinterfrage vom Status quo von Regeln und das Join the Dots von sichtbar und unsichtbar stattmachen. So kurz gesagt.
Mhm. Vielleicht wechseln wir jetzt auf Englisch, oder?
Mhm.
We're going to switch to English because we are also very happy to welcome students that are not so familiar with the German language. Usually we are offering our courses in both languages mixed as, let's say, as it goes along. And we are always welcoming students from Erasmus also to our program. Let's see, I'm sharing now my screen so you can see what the courses are that we are offering this semester. We are offering 2 design studios or Entwurfsprojekte. One is called Energy Yes, Quality No, our assignment-based project. And the other one is the return of the famous format Do What You Want, that some of you may already know. We also have 2 seminars. One is called Water Trilogies, and the other one is a Studium Generale seminar, Café Kubik. And I hope this slideshow does not stop. It does not continue. Sylvia.
Yes. So we will start a project Energy Yes and Quality No, which is open, and we're welcoming also bachelor students to the project. We will start with a question, what do public spaces have to do with collectivity, and who writes their invisible rules, and who and how may we use them? So we see public space as a meeting space with the supposed others, with spontaneously emerging groups. But we ask ourselves, are public spaces really open to all, as the name seems to suggest? Public space are spaces of togetherness and at the same time in between spaces. When we act in the public, it becomes but visible that this built space, the architecture, is much more than its visible and statist aspects, is equal to the process of its production, its reference, its temporality, and its relations to society and nature. So this semester we approach a very specific context. It's the public space on and around Marienplatz in Berlin-Kreuzberg that you see on the picture. And through different forms of perception, we will explore the space anew and thus reshape our initial intentions, which is to intervene in the public space and to question, change, reshape, appropriate the space, and to check these intentions again and again, always with the context in which we work. We understand space production as a dynamic and collective, and space production as a common endeavor. So our body is in the space is the first means that we have to physically explore and thus understand the space. So at the beginning of the semester, we will spend 4 intensive days on site. With different tools, we search for a metropolitan trail that will connect the University of the Arts to Marienplatz. We will collaborate with the UDK project in Kühle, Innovations in Artistic Teaching, and test the possibilities of augmented reality impacting space. We explored the open space with the gardeners and landscape architects Les Balteaux, which also teach at the UDK. So through these different perceptions, ways of space, then new perspectives emerge, and this enables us to redefine the space. In the course of the semester, we will explore the possible relationships between urban space and bodies and their mutual influence with the choreographer Sabine Zahn, while developing collaborative and process-based working models and perceptions tool with Juan Cajon from the Zuloark Collective. But why are our actions and bodies so often not part of architectural representations? We asked. So we will explore also the drawing technique of the architectural ethnography, recording and collective large-scale and small-scale incidents in space, trace everyday practices and corners of hidden comfort, all drawn together into one large drawing of Marienplatz. So how do I understand a context beyond my quick methods of abstractions? How can I expand my field of action? How can other forms of perception of space help me to create and change a perspective? These are all questions that we will ask throughout the semester and work through together. So through this transdisciplinary and collaborative work, we learn from other disciplines and practitioners how to explore, understand, and design the city from a new perspective. We empower ourselves to act independently of the restrictive structures of a society. And we ask ourselves, what is agency? Agency is power to act. And how can I experiment cooperatively with my artistic and knowledge productions according to the principles of self-organization? What forms of collective actions are they? How can we shape our own and working environments ourselves? So at the end, the entire semester becomes a collective body of work with different medias, performative, graphics, and filmic, which makes new forms of collective work and work action visible. So that's the project.
Okay, thank you, Silvia. As you can read on all the slides, our first meeting is Wednesday on the 19th at 2 o'clock in our studio 401. And the usual project days is Wednesday. Of course, it's not always the case. But you will see when we hand out the semester outline. The project intense days are from the 26th to the 29th of October. So very soon after the beginning of the semester. And I think you should really be able to take part in this intense phase because they will be a period of collaborative work where we really co-produce something like the basis of the semester's work, styles, approaches, explorations to be followed up later on. The second project that I'm very happy to present again is Do What You Want, our favorite project where it's really about your design interests. This presentation is split into two very short parts. One is the part of what is the topic that we are suggesting this time, and the second is a little bit of a look back into what happened in the last Do What You Want in last winter semester. Do What You Want is addressed a little bit more to students in their masters because you will definitely profit from a little bit of expertise in methodology, drawing techniques, and also working styles to be able to work in the studio as an individual exploration. It can also be used as a sort of test drive, let's say, to your master's project that is then in a similar way done on an individual track. The topic that we suggest this semester is the topic of protocols. How to stay open, linked to protocols, is the question of aren't all spaces or many of the spaces that we inhabit, that we use, aren't they overlaid or aren't our actions somehow following invisible protocols? I'm showing the church service here in order to illustrate, because a church in this moment represents a very clear set of actions that everybody that is part of the service knows that they perform in space and in time. And I think in many other spaces this is also true. How about these protocols in our environment of housing or in public spaces? We want to explore this notion of the protocol together in an intense period in the Performing Arts Forum in France, between Brussels and Paris. And we're very happy that the choreographer dancer Alice Chauchat will be joining us over there. You see a drawing of her of a notation of bodies in space. We will be working on the notion of protocol together with our bodies in this kind of collaborative and performative spatial setting. The Performing Arts Center Forum is a quite unique space that is completely self-organized. So we will be meeting and coinciding with other groups all on their own tracks. So a lot of do what you want in a larger scale. It will be very interesting to find how our spatial protocol will interact with other people's spatial protocols. Looking back, do what you want is really, as I said, the project where you propose the idea. The way we work our way into it is always to first ask everybody to come up with a clearer description of what this idea and what the path through the project could be. So you kind of design your own question as a first step into this design work. We then share these questions, reflect on them together in a studio situation of a common colloquium where everybody is invited to feedback on everybody else's work. And for me, it's very important that this is a collaborative, collective setting of mutual support, and also a safe space as much as we can in university, where you can express your architectural desires, but also your vulnerabilities, a space for experimentation, for working a little bit into the uncertain, for testing things that you're not so sure of, but for also exploring territories that you haven't gone so far, and that are probably not so familiar to you. As a space to really work into the unknown, and to also, in a design way, really stay open. Exactly. Please, if you want to join this project, and you have an idea of what your project could be, then you're warmly welcome to register on Moodle. Our first meeting will be Tuesday the 18th, so just a day after the Digitale Projektbörse in 401. Did we set a time? It's not here. Sylvia, I think I need to ask you for help. If not, check our website, but I think we said 5 o'clock. And I'm saying this now. If not, it's on the website. Our usual project day is Tuesday, and the collective travel, which is really a time you should be able to have free and to join, is the 7th to the 13th of November. The sleeping cost is very moderate. It's 25 euro per night. So the rest of the cost is travel, getting there and back, and food, as you would also probably pay for when you're at home. We will be cooking for ourselves.
Yes.
Sylvia.
So actually, the first meeting for Do What You Want is at 5 p.m., as you said.
Thank you.
So as we said at the beginning, we are going to have also 2 seminars this semester. And the first is a very special exchange program between 3 universities. It's the University of the Arts Berlin and KABK in Den Haag and the Design University in Reykjavik. And we already had the first meeting in Den Haag with 3 groups of students from the 3 universities. And we will have this semester the second meeting in Reykjavik. And the entire exchange is focusing on the topic of water. It's called Water Trilogies. And we explored and we will explore different ways of connecting with water. So human and non-human scales, changing perspectives, again, from like our human views to non-human or object or animal or plants or water living environment, and really trying to ask ourselves, how can we communicate with water bodies? For the seminar in Berlin, we will have a block from the 3rd to the 7th October. It was in Den Haag. And Reykjavik is planned for May, around May. Marcus, correct me if it's wrong. And Berlin probably around September next year. So it's possible for 8 students from the UDK to participate, and then there will be 8 students from Reykjavik and Den Haag, and we will meet and start to plan a program together for Berlin, for example. How is our connection to water in a city like Berlin, and in Reykjavik is going to be completely different, of course.
Thank you. The second seminar will be in the frame of Studium Generale. And actually, we are only part of the offering team because we were invited to offer this seminar by the group of students that are now rerunning Café Kubik as the new edition of the former Café Mittelachse. What we agreed we would do is to have 3 more or less weekend sessions, like seminar blocks. The dates are given here. It's 10th and 11th of December, 17th and 18th of December, and 14th and 15th of January. And the question that we want to look into is, how can we redesign this cafe together? It's placed specifically in Studium Generale, as we agreed that we really want to address not only architecture students, but also students from other disciplines, maybe from the building in Hardenbergstraße, but maybe even beyond. So it's also our first experiment with the Studium Generale course. We're quite excited, and we're looking forward to see who's joining. You would have to register with this in the Studium Generale context. I think this is slightly different than if you register on Moodle for the architecture straightforward courses. Our first meeting is on the 25th of October in Café Kubik at 10 o'clock in the morning. We're super happy that Simone Kellerhoff from Material Mafia agreed to join, because we thought we start the kickoff with a special material perspective. Simone is an enthusiast about materials and can tell us in the beginning already how her view on materiality, on urban metabolisms works. And we can start to learn which kind of ways we could use to find materials in order to not just design from scratch, but to have a design approach that is working very much with recycled or pre-used materials.
Yes, and throughout the entire semester, we would like to have together different formats in which we try to open this atelier culture, also having moments of learning in different contexts and with different formats. And there have been already these formats in the past years, I guess, and we would like to try again. And with these are the discursive dinner. So at the end of one day of the project, Wednesday, we will have guests that work with us, and we will discuss together while cooking together, and while cooking up also the topics of our work. And at the same similar way, we will also have breakfast clubs with inputs from colleagues and colleagues that we will join us in the very morning to discuss also together on the topic of our work, on different topics, but really trying to intersect these moments of learning with other methodologies.
Yeah, so this is our semester. We're looking forward to this winter term with energy, yes, quality, no, do what you want, a new edition on how to stay open, or the common protocols, the 2 seminars, and the discursive dinner and breakfast clubs. We hope to see you there. Thanks. Stop sharing. And I stop recording.